Maya was the most intense woman I ever met in my life. She scared me and she knew it. I met her when she was hanging out with a guy I was in a band with. She went out with him a couple of years before. Now they had one of those loose relationships. She would come by where we used to live and practice. She and my pal would go somewhere to fool around. She used to drag him away by his belt. I used to hate that helpless look he would get when she did that. She turned tricks when she needed money for drugs, which was most of the time. Once, she came by the place and asked us if we were hungry. We were always hungry in those days. She smiled and said she'd be back soon. In a few hours, she returned with a bag of food from a delicatessen. I asked her where she got it from, and she laughed at me like the witch she was and yelled, "Turning tricks, you fuckhead!" Then she made a grab for my dick. I always teased her about not wanting to get leprosy from her. This just made her fuck with me more. "Come here, you little faggot. I should get one of my stud friends to come over and fuck you good. I know that's what you want. Come here, you little chicken." She knew this shit would make me leave the room. She always won. I saw her one day walking crookedly west up Santa Monica Boulevard, thumbing down eastbound traffic. She was wearing high heels, fishnet stockings held up with garter belts, hooked into black panties. She had on a tank top that had a red swastika on the front. Her makeup was running and she looked like hell. Our car picked her up across the street from Astroburger. Off they went. I didn't bother to tell my friend about it. He never talked about the crazy shit she got up to and no one ever brought it up when he was around. A few days later, we got a call from a clinic near the airport. Maya was there with a broken jaw. A John had punched her in the face in lieu of payment. Our number was the only one she knew. I remember the look on my friend's face, tired and resolved. He silently took the keys to the van and went to get her. He didn't bring her back and none of us asked where he put her. I didn't see or hear about her for a couple of years after that. The next I heard about her was when we got a call from a clinic. Someone had broken her jaw. And as an added bonus, she was pregnant and had hepatitis. My friend went off and dealt with it. A few months later, she wound up on our doorstep. A few hours after her appearance at our hovel, she had dragged two old men back from a corner bar and serviced them in our bathroom. None of us had the guts to ask her not to bring her clients back to our place. Finally, one of us asked her, and she was amazingly cool about it. With Maya, any coolness was just the calm before the storm. That night she took a can of contact cement and got high with it in the bathroom and passed out. We broke in and got the glue-drenched t-shirt off her face and took her outside for some fresh air. She was mad at us for saving her. She said she wanted to die, and we were motherfuckers for stopping her. The next night, she found the glue can and went off to a nearby field with it. One of the guys was walking to the store, saw her in the field and ran over to her. She was passed out with a small towel dipped in glue next to her face. Again, we revived her. She took off the next day after cussing us all out and taking a few swings at me. The next time I saw her was a year later in Hollywood. She was living with a fellow junkie and prostitute, a slim guy named Benny. He had bleached blonde hair and worked a stretch of Santa Monica Boulevard called Boys Town. The last time I saw her, I teased her that she and Benny could share clothes. The last time I heard about him, he had gone out on a drug-scoring mission and got snuffed. I never heard from or about Maya again. That was 10 years ago. Maya once told me about a girl she helped to commit suicide. She was a friend of Maya's. I think the girl bought drugs from her. Most of the people she knew were either prostitutes or drug addicts doing small crime to get the money to score. Anyway, this young girl wanted to check out, so Maya sold her some downers and took her to Errol Flynn's old mansion, which was at this point a pile of rubble and an empty pool on top of a hill in Hollywood. The place was frequented by a wild crowd that liked to party there. I went there a few times, but it didn't do anything for me. A bunch of guys getting high and scary girls getting fucked in the bushes. During the day, this place was pretty much deserted. Maya took the girl up there one afternoon and fed her pills and made her wash it down with a lot of milk. Maya said it helped you die better. The girl choked on her own vomit and died. Maya watched. She tossed off this story like she was talking about her shoes, like it was nothing.